All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of GAR Capital. It is Tuesday, June 27th, 2023. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join me this morning and every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video if you do like it, comment any of your questions. I'll do my best to answer them as soon as I can. Let's go ahead and get started. Dow futures down about 26 points, Nasdaq up about 53. S&P 500 futures 43.76 and the Russell at 1840. If you are coming here directly from the blog on Discord, welcome aboard. Glad to have you on this morning. Dollar index is down 0.25%. Again, we were still talking about that dollar yen yesterday. It did hit new highs since November highs of last year. So I'm still long it, and I just turned green. The good news is that we're getting higher lows and higher highs. So I went ahead and talked to the Forex team about it this morning, and it looks like we're just pretty good. I already told them that it's going to be a little bit of a grind on this one, but I think the rewards are going to be worth it. Volatility index, the VIX, up 0.28%, 1429. Crude oil down about 0.72%, 68.87 a barrel, $2.46 for gasoline futures. That's up. Gold is flat, 19.35 an ounce, 23.02 for copper. For silver, excuse me, copper flat as well, 378. Euro dollar 109.64. That's up 60 pips this morning. 143.63. That's up 10 pips this morning. Pound dollar 127.39. That's up 28 pips. I was long the dollar last week, but that got stopped out, so we had bounced back again. 30,755 for Bitcoin catching a bid, up 1.45% on the future side. 1885 for Ethereum, up 1.5%. this morning. Okay, so let's talk about what we did yesterday. We went ahead and shorted Tesla yesterday as well. We shorted Tesla and Microsoft. We caught both. We do have a gap to fill here on Tesla at 235. We broke this support here. I expect Tesla to fill this gap this week. So again, we know that seasonality is weak towards the end of June. So again, let's see if we do break out above Tesla here on around 248, 250. 265 could be next, but I think 265 is the level that I would want for us to go long again. If anything, I want to stay net short Tesla, at least just for now. And again, I still love Tesla, the stock. You could see that we hit some R right around 283. We did fill this gap here, so we can remove that. And again, all I'm expecting, guys, is us to retest the 20-day moving average. The 20-day moving average is our momentum indicator. As long as you stay above that, we should be okay. And again, that's right around 237 or so. We were trading at 242 now. So I think we'll go ahead and tap that. If you're looking at a place to possibly look at to buy the dip of anything, around $220 to $200 becomes very compelling for Tesla, $200 a share. But 220 would probably be my first level where I'm looking at to possibly buy. We've just been trading around it, which has been a lot better for us who are buy and hold, but yet still make money on contracts too. So I think Tesla is one of those names that you just want to own it. And that's it for the future. Let's go to Microsoft. We traded this one as well. And a very similar setup. We have a gap to fill at the bottom. We'll go ahead and zoom in. This one's a little further out, but again, we broke below the 20. That's a big difference. And you see the gap here at 316. I don't know if we get there this week, but we did trade it, and Microsoft does look very nice. Google was a name that I wanted to trade yesterday with the team, but it literally broke our alert at 3:59 p.m. We wouldn't be able to catch it. So definitely Google's on my watch list for today. You can see that we're at 118 right now. There is a gap to fill here at 113. So let's see if we can break below 116.85. That's the 50-day moving average on the daily. If we go to the hourly, again, we're already below the 20-day. So you can see that we have a little more room to go since here's your momentum indicator. So let's see if we get to 116.86. If we do, I want to go and take a look at the 113 call strike, put strike to around 114. I think you can probably get away with a 115, but I think 114 to 113 is probably the money level depending on volume. So Google is something on my watch list. Metaverse, I had calls on it. I have calls. This is where we got to yesterday, 290, and then we just dropped. The good news is that we didn't sit in our hands. We actually traded. We traded Nasdaq futures. We traded Microsoft and Tesla puts. So we caught those. But you could see, again, I don't believe in triple bottoms. That's not my thing. Triple bottoms indicates that we're going to go lower. We usually break that, but again, it's holding that support of around 277. So if Metaverse wants to go ahead and break out again off a triple bottom, I'm all for it as a call holder. But again, as long as we're up above the 20-day moving average, we're at 280, 273.81. I think you stay long Meta as long as the 20-day holds in terms of trading it. Let's go to Amazon. Amazon's chart's is better to me than Metaverse. And you can see the breakout. Again, we talked about these zones here, 127.62. We held above the 100 moving average on the 1 hour. If we go to the daily, as long as you stay above what? The 20-day moving average. We still have a little more upside. So again, I have the 130 calls. It's not like I'm too far out from the strike of being in the money. I think that we get another leg higher on at least Amazon, which has been outperforming like Meta. Google is underperforming today. Apple has been outperforming. Microsoft and Tesla, I expect them to get a back seat just due to technicals. So, forget the name. Just look at the charts and that'll tell you. The price action tells you all. Doesn't mean they're bad companies. It just means we're just going to get a lower price. Just think of it that way. And that's where we are this morning. Pfizer I took in the morning. If anyone took that, I had the 36 and 38 puts. Got out of those. Look at that big drop. Bouncing a little bit off support here. I'll try to see if we have any more UOA for maybe just not Pfizer. I may not want to hit that again. But again, in order to go long Pfizer or want to play calls to the upside, get above the 20, which is right around 38.72. Still about $2 away. So it's still a short, at least for now. I'm not in any puts, but again, it would be continuance to the downside. That's the case. Let's go and take a look at Nasdaq futures. Again, we shorted it here. I think it was at, I know I have it. It was at 14. Let me get the exact total here. So we closed it out here. Here's the future side. We got in at 14,935. We moved the stop pretty quickly to 15,000. We got to 50 and then we got as high as 72. Moved the stop to break even. And then we closed it for 50 on the bounce at 884. So that was a good exit. It was right around here. It wasn't around 1 in the morning. I think it was right around here. I think it was around 7 o'clock in the afternoon. So here, right here, I just wanted to get out, lock my profits. If we get below 14,850, I'd want to go ahead and short again. But I want to break that first before we do so. And if we want to go long, I need to get above 15,100, 15,150 right here. At least confirm the support. S&P 500, I did not short just because we didn't get a pure liquidation in the markets. We had really just a rotation into industrials. We had a rotation into financials. Financials caught a bid. Russell outperformed the S&P yesterday. So you can see just a slide down on S&P. 4309 would be a great target. That's your 38.2 fib. The problem is that S&P is just going to chop around while the Nasdaq is going to be more protruded up or down. So again, I'd rather trade the Nasdaq, at least for now, over the S&P because you're getting a rotation out. If we were just getting a bloody bloodbath where everyone's selling everything, S&P short all day. Let's answer this question here. AMD. We'll go to the daily to take a look. Again, we're below the 20. And I'm thinking that we're going to test 105, 104.97. It is up this morning. So let's go ahead and take a look at the hourly. Again, you're below the 20. So we'll go ahead and go to the 4 hour. And again, you're below the 200 MA on the 4 hour. Really just stay below 109.51 on that. Let me see if there's any gaps to fill here. No gaps here on the AMD. Oh, excuse me. Any gaps here? No, this gap was filled already. So at least that. Let's go ahead and remove this. Remove drawing. Okay. So we want to get below 104.97. That's your 50, this is the 50-day moving average. And then you could target 100 to around 103. This might be support. That's the problem. And the reason I say that is because on the daily chart, this is exactly the August highs. And I think a retest of the August highs, a very tough nut to crack that we had. Remember, previous resistance becomes next support. So I think we're kind of running out of room on AMD to around 105. So I would skip it. I think there's better shorts out there in terms of tech. NVIDIA isn't a bad one. NVIDIA is right at this yellow line. We need to get below 400, in my opinion. Below 400, then we could start talking about pullbacks. But right on the 20-day moving average, bouncing a little bit. Once that does break, then I will be interested in actually shorting Nvidia. I know, what a concept. A lot of bears have tried and have failed, but I think we can pull it off. Let's go ahead and take a look at Snow. I think Snow announced some kind of partnership with Nvidia, but we'll go ahead and take a look at the daily. Whole lot of chop, whole lot of nothing. I would not trade this name personally, and I would just wait on it. Above 200, possibly it's worth a buy, but I think there's better cloud providers out there than Snow. You can own an Amazon that has AWS. You can own Microsoft with Azure, and they also have their other businesses. I think those two are your best, and you also have Google Cloud. You can do Oracle as well, but I think those two, when it comes to cloud, you stick with those, you're going to be fine. But Snow, there's nothing to trade. You're welcome, Maria. Let's see Microsoft. Oh, yeah, we kind of went over this earlier. We do have a gap to fill here below at 316.46. We hit puts yesterday, and the team closed it out for 40%. You could take a look here. We had the Microsoft 325 puts, we got 42% on it, and then we did the Tesla puts 235, we got 46. It got as high as 75, and of course it bounces. So I'm happy that everyone got out, locked in their gains. But again, Microsoft, in my opinion, is a put. It's still a short until we get above 333. That's your 20-day. So I would wait and see if we get a little more of a breakdown into Microsoft. What level would that possibly be to re-enter? Let's see, right around here, I think 327.50 wouldn't be bad. In the hourly, you can see that's kind of some support or so. A little bit of a bounce, and then this is where we broke out, and so far we're holding that level. So 327.50, if we break that, then we can start taking a look at what the 320 puts, 315 puts, so on and so forth. But we did the 325 puts, not really targeting the actual gap fill, but again, we can hit this stock a couple of times before it's all said and done until we get the gap fill. Unless we reverse today and the Nasdaq soars, then we'll just skip it. But as of right now, I think Microsoft is still a short for now. Again, I think Microsoft's a great company. Not saying sell the stock, but hey, if you want to ride the wave down and trade it, I'm all for it. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So that is where we are for the day. We'll go ahead and leave it there, guys. Thanks again for your questions. Thank you again for joining me. We'll go ahead and see you guys tomorrow for the next morning note. Let's make it a great trading Tuesday. I will see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.